Okay, program priority. All right. ISO is at 250. It's a -2 exposure. All right. And you see the flaring has gone down quite a bit. It's a too dark.
All right, sir, you had the large mocha prep with 3 hamburgers?
Yes.
All right, that's going to be $11.43.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, I smell a skunk, so. Found a dead one the other day when I was picking up my mail when I had no mail. Well, I did have one.
You have the large milk refreshment and 3 hamburgers?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see what's happening. Okay, that truck backing up. All right. Ooh. That's what you have to worry about. All right. Now, it looks pretty clear, doesn't it? I like the lights like this at a -2. Okay. Some people say it's too dark. I don't know. I love the purple or the blue. So what do you think of the lighting? Is it too dark? All right, here we go. Well, not yet anyway. So what I can do in this program priority is I can bring up the exposure a couple, to a 0, and that's where the manual mode was, just to show you the difference. Okay, so you say, well, it looks a little bit too dark, the sky. Well, it does. But with the flaring and stuff, you can see the tail lights of the car, and you see no flaring. You look at the sign, you can read the sign. All right? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the way they decided was it takes you a mile to get off of onto the road, and then in order to get onto let's say Boverde or whatever off the loop, it takes you a mile to get there also. So we're gonna have a wee moment. Wee moment is that commercial with the pig sticking his head out with the little wind fan going wee, wee. And that's what's going to happen. The only thing is I'm behind a truck and a car, so I'm going to slow down. So what do you think of the picture quality? Is this what you like seeing? So I see some people would like to go 75 miles an hour and stuff. I like to be cautious, so I'm going like 55, 50, maybe 45. And they have to slow down because there's a bus 4 cars in front of me. But we're not in a hurry. I hear a sports car in front, revving up his engine, or downshifting, I don't know. That sports car. And see, he's going to try to pass that bus. Okay, that bus was a U-Haul truck. The U-Haul truck is carrying a car. I'm going to get in this lane. And that's the way to travel, folks. When you stop off, you just take the car off and go driving around. So, is this too dark? So let's do some exposure compensation fixing. One. So this is a -1, okay? And you see the flaring went up. You probably can see a little bit more of the sky, okay? Do you like this picture better? And there's an airplane landing. I don't know if you can see it. So we'll be going over, the runway will be over this highway. I'll show you where they fly over. Let's do the exposure compensation again. This is where I had it on manual mode, okay? Do you like this setting better? LCD screens lie to you. You just have to make sure that everything's in a good frame, the picture and stuff, and leave it at that. The color and brightness may be off. See, there's another plane coming down. So they're using this runway tonight. And they jumped up to 97 degrees. So this is zero compensation. 10,000 ISO. Okay. I don't see anything blinking. 1/3 of the shutter speed, f3.5. Sony seems to be happy. When it starts getting to 12,800, then it starts getting unhappy. And then you start seeing. So, as I'm getting into the shade, or in the dark shadows, I should say, then I start seeing the aperture and stuff blinking. So, this is the funny thing that I found out. Okay, it's good, okay underneath the light, but when I get to a dark area, they really want it at f1.8. And maybe a slower shutter speed. And f1.8 on this lens is 18 millimeters, maybe up to 20. So I see it's blinking again. So let's go -1, all right? Okay, nothing is blinking. So I went halfway where I just made it darker a little bit. This is a -1, by the way, okay? I don't want to overexpose it. I'm just leaving it there. Everything looks fine. 6400 ISO. So Sony is happy. At 3.5, 1/30th of a shutter speed. Just for your information, I'm on Interstate 281, which runs right in the center of the city of San Antonio, Texas, north to south. Interstate 10 goes east to west, just south of the center of the town. I-35 and 37 go toward the east. 35 will go down toward the southwest, and 16 is on the west side. And let's see, what else? Yeah, that's about right. So 35, 37 merged together a little bit, and then they split off at San Antonio. One goes southwest and one goes southeast. One goes to Corpus Christi, the other one goes to Laredo. So what do you think? I see nothing flashing. I see everything happy. But I still think it's too much flaring. Okay? But you can see everything. Now, when you get in the city, then I can bring it all the way dark. That's if I decide to go downtown. So you see, they're happy. Let's go a little bit lower. Let's go to 2. This is the way I like it. Nice and dark. And nothing is flashing. Sony's happy also. Now, it looks dark on the LCD screen, folks, okay? But when you get it in post, it's a different story. You know, bring it out on the 4K TV or OLED TV, whatever you use for a monitor. Could be the Apple display. You could have the perfect calibrated monitor, whatever. You'll see clouds, stuff like that. That's what I'm suggesting, is that the LCD screen doesn't show everything. It's not as good as other LCD screens. It's a tiny screen for a tiny camera. So that's why you don't trust it. You just make sure the picture is in the frame. I think the picture is gorgeous right now, okay? When you're looking at the LCD screen, it looks dark. When you get it in post, it looks fantastic. I just wanted to show you the difference between the different settings. So I had it in manual mode in the studio, okay? And now I have it in program priority. If I had it in intelligent auto, which most people put it in, you would see more flaring, okay? And then you'll see blinking and stuff, and then you can't change any of the settings. So intelligent auto is great for the daytime. At nighttime, it's not. What you need at nighttime is maybe program priority. And I put this camera at a -2, and it's a 1-inch sensor, folks. And I'm not going downtown. I'm just but I am gonna show you my favorite building. This one right here with all the lights. And I'm gonna go up I-35 because I gotta go to work tomorrow, folks. And it's almost 10 o'clock. I've already been down in the city quite a few times, you know, downtown area. Last Sunday it was packed. I couldn't believe it. So you see, at this interchange, 35 goes on the southwest side of San Antonio, or North 35 will go the other way, northeast, and then 281 and 37 merge together. So 37 will go by the Alamo Dome and on the eastern part of the city. So now I'm driving away from the city and I'm going east. And it'll start be heading northeast into my area. And you know what? I think it's 60 miles an hour. That's what my navigation tells me. And I've been recording for about 20 minutes, just about. Now, when I reduced the exposure compensation, I got less noise. And it's at 2000, which is good for an ISO. So what I'm seeing is, you know, while I'm driving, is basically what I'm looking on the LCD screen right now. So, Felicia, that's a secret. If you're driving at night or walking around, if you decide to put it in program priority, put it 1/30th of a shutter speed, and then you can do the aperture or the focal length, whatever you want, and then put the exposure down to a -2. But it's your camera, you can do your settings. And that's if you're walking at night or something. So I see the flaring is handled pretty good. You don't see any rays going to the road. You can see my headlights basically in this lane, okay? And there's 2 lanes to the left. And I might be pointing it a little bit too much to the right. I'm hoping that's more centered. So if you like this type of content, please give me a like, subscribe. Any questions or comments, you can put it down below. And, you know, if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see with the different cameras I have. So what I like about this camera, it's very portable. I have a dummy battery for it. I got a terabyte SD card. And you can take pictures. You can show products. You can do car vlogging. Do a lot of things with this small camera. It has an ND filter, I think up to 3 stops, and anyhow, you know, some people don't want to pay. I think with tax I pay $974, okay? And you get the camera and the battery. I think that's all that came with it. I don't know if you got a USB-C cable. I'm gonna have to look at the unboxing again. And that was about 2 months ago, all right? And folks, I've done over 1,000 videos, okay? So, but I've showed all the equipment that I've had. I have, let's see, 2, 5, 6, 9, 13 digital cameras. Well, actually, I also have a Sony camcorder, Handycam. So that's 14. I can plug into. It's a 16 megapixel camera, but it does 4K. But I think every 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that, it kind of shuts off, but then it turns on again, okay? But everybody said, yeah, you got to get a Handycam or a camcorder for your video. And then for taking pictures, you get a camera. Well, now they have cameras that are hybrids, and they get smaller all the time. This camera doesn't overheat. I have a dummy battery for it. And the reason for that is when you have a regular external battery that comes with the camera and you charge it with a USB-C, if you leave it unplugged, the battery will last, all right, for quite a long time. But it will dissipate after a while. And, you know, you charge it, you discharge it, you know, the battery life goes down. But if you just charge the battery and you go on a trip and you just take some short videos or recordings, you know, like 8 minutes here, 10 minutes here, or whatever, of family events, it'll last you for about maybe 2 hours, okay? If you get a dummy battery like I did, which has a USB 3 at the end or a USB-A connection, then you can plug it into an external power bank, and I can get up to 21 hours. But actually, the external power bank will only last me 8, and the SD card will last me 21 hours. And the police officer just got a speeder. If you didn't notice it, on the left-hand side, on the other side of the highway. So we have 2 loops in San Antonio. The inner loop is 410, it goes all the way around the city. The outer loop is 1604. And I do not like this stretch of road. It's too rough. So, you'll see a lot of construction right now. Oh man. Those are police cars, and there was an accident. And to the right, there's 3 cars. So there might have been that. See, I see a whole bunch of cars on the right-hand side. Holy cow. A lot of accidents. And what a bumpy road. So what they're constructing is or convoy. I got it. Oh, man. So they're working on the center of the highway. They're doing platforms on each side of the highway, so you can get off, or you can instead of going on the lower ramp, you can stay on the higher ramp. I think it's ridiculous. All they had to do was add a couple more lanes to the right, and it could have been done. But you know, the planners of the city think it looks a lot better. And you know, I went down an interchange, and you can saw how far that dropped. That went 120 feet from the top part of 1604 all the way down to 281. And I'm on the smooth part of the highway, folks. It's not only for my benefit, but it's for yours. And now we're on the rough part of the road. So people see me with this camera and they're wondering, is he a cop? And they slow down and they look over and, oh, no, he's watching TV. I get a lot of those, folks. And they pull up, they look over, and I said, is he watching TV? I want one of those. This is my exit, but you can see the ramps on the left. They're making the towers on the right. They relaid part of the foundations of the road on those ramps. And this is a 4-year project, folks. And they've only been doing this for about 6 months. So I got another 3.5 years of this stuff. So anyhow, I'm recording for over 30 minutes. And that's the other thing I want to talk about, Sony's. They don't have a 30-minute video record limit. And can I get on 1604? Yes, I think I can. Very good. I don't know why they put it up here, but they'll probably knock this part down and redo the interchange. So this is the outside loop or outer loop of that circles around the city. See, they're building towers over here on the right. So they're going gun-ho everywhere. But what I want you to look at, do you see any flaring? Sorry, folks, I get kind of quiet when I see things happening on the road, and I worry about other drivers. You see, I see a couple of police cars at the gas station. They're out in force tonight, pulling people over. They're really cracking down on kids that are racing or taking control of certain streets. And they got a new law passed where if you're caught doing one of these illegal racing and shutting down part of the highway or whatever, They're going to confiscate your car and they're going to sell it. And then you're going to lose your driver's license, spend some time in jail, and then you're going to have to explain to your parents why you lost your vehicle. And I love it. You know, the best medicine? Walk for about a year without a car. Or take Uber and Lyft and see how expensive that is compared to owning a car. Now this city isn't as big as Dallas or Houston, but it is still pretty big. And there's a lot of small towns and stuff in Bexar County, but it's all with the San Antonio metropolitan area. And you need a vehicle to get around. Taxis are too expensive. And I always give a tip to my Lyft and Uber friends. And there's the moon, but you can't see it. And it's not a full moon, but it's almost there. And here we go. So, is this too dark? Let's take a look at this moon. There you go. Now let's see if it's focused. I don't know. I'm just going to sit the camera down and get home. It's 10 o'clock. It's my bedtime. But anyway, so here's the settings I had in manual, okay? There you go. There's your flare back. You can see more of the road. I think the lights are blowing it out. I get the flashing on the camera. Sony says you're doing it wrong. But look, you can start seeing clouds too. So you see? Different strokes for different folks. All right. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling. Until next time, we shall meet again. Goodbye, folks. Have a wonderful week.